back. So we're starting off with a 35-ounce slim from the Stainless Steel Depot. Now, this is not a straight up and down tumbler. This is a skinny, so it goes from bigger to smaller. But I was fine with that because the idea of it was that I wanted to create kind of a bat, you know, like a literal baseball bat. And so I liked the idea of it being kind of bigger at the top and smaller at the bottom. So I was fine with, you know, kind of like an oblong, you know, situation there. So what I've got here is my contraption from Kimmy Page Boutique. And I never can remember what it's called. Anyways, but it's linked down below, and there is a coupon code Paxton10 for it that you can use as well. Now, I have this so that I can line everything up. Now, like I said, this wasn't going to be a true lineup, and there wasn't a design on here, so to speak. So it wasn't, I didn't have to be straight, but I wanted it just to kind of start off with a straight line, you know, but it was, I knew that in the end it was, you know, we weren't going to be like perfect in any way, but I just kind of wanted to start off with that straightest edge that we could find. So once I got that on, I didn't need that anymore, so I flipped the tumbler around, and then what I did was just use the backing, and I just kind of pushed and pushed as I went, you know, around to the other side. And I was going to be doing a lot of, there was going to be laces, and there was going to be the coach's name and all of that. And so I wanted this particular area to be quite a bit bigger, and I wasn't going to measure it out like it's, you know, as far as getting an exact measurement. I just wanted to have quite a bit of, I would say maybe 2/3 of the cup maybe in this particular wood, because that's where I was going to put the coaches' names and all of that. So I just kind of continued to push it down and get it on the tumbler, and then I cut that remainder off, and that was about, you know, basically how I measured it. Now, as you can see, we are completely cattywampus at this point. So, and that's okay, because we're going to make a straight line. But I knew, like I said, I just kind of wanted to start one side of it off with a straight line, and then we could adjust everything when we come back, you know, when we get to the other side. So once again, I'm using my Kimmy Page Boutique tumbler thing there. I don't know why I cannot remember the name. Anyways, and I'm using that to cut off the, you know, that remainder and be cutting a straight line. And I wasn't too concerned about it being like, oh my gosh, so straight, because we're going to be putting another type of vinyl on that other side there. So, but I wanted to kind of start off, like I said, like the other side, with as straight a line as we could possibly get. So this, all three of these vinyls came from North 80, and when I saw all of them, I was like, well, we have to put them all on a tumbler because they all are perfect. And I just thought it was gonna, you know, add all of those baseball elements that we possibly needed, and you know, just give us the perfect theme. So I did use a piece of tape just so that I could kind of feel where the other side of the vinyl was, and I could kind of, you know, just, I don't know, I just felt like I needed a piece of tape on there so that I could kind of either protect the bat wood vinyl, or just to make sure that we were getting a good straight line coming from both sides. I did realize that this was not cut as straight on that one side, so I just went along and just kind of removed that little bit of excess there. No big deal. We had plenty of that wood there, and like I said, we weren't going for complete straight lines. We're just kind of creating a theme on this tumbler, and that's okay. So we're going to start with our baseballs here, and this was going to just be like 3/4 of that side, right? So I was going to do the bottom in the grass that you can see there off to the side. And so I just kind of just went ahead and just filled the whole thing up. It was easier that way to just kind of then I could just cover up the grass for however far up I wanted to go. And then once I got to that tape line, that was when I cut off the excess. And then now I have that good straight line there with the tape. I can feel it. I know exactly where to cut. And I wasn't too worried because we were going to be putting a line of laces. So I just wanted to get a straight enough line, but I wasn't, you know, if some of the stainless steel was showing, it was no big deal because, you know, we were going to cover that up with this laces tape. So I cut off the excess on the bottom and on the sides, and then we went into that grass vinyl. And nothing was perfectly measured here. This was all just like, you know, whatever I decided at the time. So I just cut off a piece that I thought was good enough, like this is, you know, 4 inches or whatever it was, and I just cut that and used that for the bottom part there. And then I used, you know, the heater, and I pulled and pulled and pulled, and it actually kind of started discoloring, but I wasn't like okay with that, but I thought that's fine because what I wanted to do anyway on the end, on the bottom, was put a piece of that grass on there. So like, you know, it was sitting in grass. I thought that would be kind of cute. So, but I just wanted to get a clean, you know, a smooth edge all the way to the bottom, all the way through. And then, you know, later on when we come back through epoxy and sand and all that, we can put that final piece of grass on the bottom and put our logo there, and we're good to go. And then I just took my sharp X-Acto knife and just cut that edge off on the top. And I was waiting patiently for my Cami Page Boutique edge trimmer thing, and I got it today. So you will definitely be seeing me use that. I'm so excited. It would have been very helpful here with this one. So I will say that I wish that I would have put some kind of coating on this. I didn't think, because it was like a full-on, you know, vinyl wrap or whatever. Maybe because I had put my hands all over it or whatever. But it kind of had a little bit of divots and fish eyes types of things whenever I went into the first coat. But that was okay. I just went right into my second coat, filled those in, and then right after that, I did a sanding and put another coat on there before we went into, you know, putting our laces on there and our coach's names. So this has like 3 coats of epoxy, I'm pretty sure, at this point. And what I'm showing you here, obviously you know how to cut, but my point of showing this to you is that I got these from the glitter craze, I think. Either way, I think these are available other places, but I will definitely link where I got them if I can't, and I will try to find some other place. But it's similar to a water slide, but I have experience, believe me, from experience, that if you don't cut off that excess, that sometimes it can show. Now, maybe if it was glitter, maybe it wouldn't show, but because it was vinyl, maybe it shows. I don't know. But I just, out of safety, out of, you know, I just make sure that I cut off. I don't cut off, I don't get all crazy about it, but I do cut, you know, just that inner side, you know, those inner pieces out. And always, like I say, cover in alcohol, wipe down your cup with alcohol. And this is like a water slide. So I made sure that I had a fresh, good, solid, clean coat of epoxy on here. If this was vinyl, then I could have sanded, no big deal. But that's why I had to put all those coats on there. That's why I had to sand it, make sure it was perfect, to put another full clean coat on there, and then put these on, because they are going to show underneath, you know, any kind of, you know, scratches or sanding or anything like that. So you want to make sure that you think of these as a water slide. Now, they are a little bit more difficult because you did cut them, but it's okay. You can do it. It's not a big deal. They come up pretty easily. They are very forgiving. You can move them and push them, and even, you know, you can even cut them and fix it. And I mean, there's a lot that I did, and you cannot tell once it goes under epoxy. But I think if you had those big pieces of clear tape or whatever in between, I think you would have a problem. So that's why I say just cut these and just take your time, and you'll be good to go. And one thing I will say here is I thought putting the side laces on would have been was the right way to go, and then to put the one in the middle there. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it would have looked differently. But I went ahead and made both of them that way because I was making two for the two coaches my son had. But I was kind of thinking maybe I should have put them underneath, but that's a call you can make if you want to decide. But either way, I thought it was cool. I thought the laces, going down the side and separating all those little sections was just real, just added that real cool baseball element to it. So I cut this Coach Devon out in some kind of varsity sporty type, but that was fine because I wanted and I cut it out as like an outline, right? Oh no, it was from Cricut. That's where it was. And I wanted the outline. I wanted it to be an outline because I wanted to show off the wood, which doesn't matter later because I messed up and I had to change everything. But no big deal. I put that on so crooked. I just filmed this. I did not film the other one, but I did take that off and I put a brand new one on because that one was like way crooked. So I did not take my own advice and put another coat of epoxy down. I thought I could sand and get those divots and things that happened because I didn't seal my vinyl again when I did this one. So I was just sanding away, and I was being very careful. I will say I was being careful, but I wasn't as careful as I thought was being. And I sanded kind of down onto that vinyl there, and I exposed just basically I just took the paint or the printed piece off of the vinyl. So I took the baseball vinyl and I cut out the Coach Andrew. I cut it out in the, like an offset, but then I took the inside of the offset out so that the black vinyl that we had already put down there, and I'd left the inside so we could kind of fill the inside with the baseball vinyl. And then I realized that was not big enough because I genuinely thought that this would be a lot bigger than, but I ended up having to do one more offset, which happy accidents kind of thing, because once we put that extra outline of the grass on there, I just really thought it tied it all together. And so, like I said, it was like Bob Ross says, it was a happy accident. So there it is. I'm putting the grass on there, and I finally got enough of the coverage to cover up that mistake that I made. And I had just a tiny bit of that other little piece there, but that's fine. It's wood, it's a bat, things happen. So I was fine with that tiny bit of flaw there. So all in all, I think it turned out pretty cool, because then it looked like a bunch of baseballs sitting in the grass and their name was in there. I don't know. Like I said, I liked the way that it turned out. I thought it was really neat, and I had to fix that little edge there, but believe me, it's grass, no big deal. It blended in well. So there they are. I love it. I think baseball season is an everyday occurrence here in Texas. So, we have baseball all the time. So you're always wanting to do some kind of coach gift or some kind of gift for your coach at school or anything. Somebody that loves baseball, somebody that, you could even put a team logo in there if you wanted, if you were just giving it away as a gift. But anyways, I really thought that these came together very well. And this is that has like a Hydro Sport, top on it and a regular top, so they could use it for both. It's very thin. They could carry it to the ballpark, put it in their, cup holder. And anyways, like, follow, subscribe, comment. I'll see you next time.